What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back for another review. But this time, we are going to be reviewing Basketball Wives Orlando. This is a new show added to the Basketball Wives franchise. And y'all, let's talk about this first episode because I feel like we might have something here, okay? The girls are younger. The storylines are way more interesting. And I think that we might have a good cast here. So, this is my review for Season 1, Episode 1, Welcome to Orlando. So, we actually started this episode off with Megan James. A lot of us know her from, not Basketball Wives, even though she was on that show. We really remember her for being on Bad Girls Club and whipping like 3 girls' asses all at the same time. Y'all remember that crazy episode. But nonetheless, she has moved from LA and now she's living in Orlando. And according to her, she's been linked to a couple of players, agents, and maybe a few referees. So she meets up with Shawnee O'Neal, and this is basically Shawnee welcoming Megan to Orlando. Now, according to Megan, she has a podcast and her plans are to reach out to other girls who, of course, will be on this show on social media so that way she can plan something. Because initially she was talking to Shawnee about Shawnee possibly introducing her to some people because Shawnee is not from Orlando. Shawnee used to live in Orlando. But here's the thing. Girl, you need to find your own age group. Shawnee is next to 50 years old. I know her friends is going to be up there in age. Go find some of the young girls. Okay, we don't need nobody in the group to be over the age of 40. We really don't. I think that we need to keep this cast younger because we see what's going on with the regular Basketball Wives. Nonetheless, let's move on to meet some of the other cast members. So we first meet Ashley Snell. This woman says that she made her first $1 million at the age of 26, I believe. She's actually married to an NBA player who's currently playing. She also has her own athleisure line and she owns her own store. Now, one thing that I can say about this season is that I do like the fact that we are getting a mix of girls who are either married to players, dating NBA players, or they're the ex-wives of current players. Because y'all know, Basketball Wives is good for an overseas player, an ex-NBA player, and they love to have a retired player, okay? And nobody currently in the NBA. Now, speaking of currently in the NBA, y'all, we see her and her husband. They have a beautiful house. If I got nothing out of this entire little scene was that her house was beautiful, okay, on the outside. I didn't get to see the inside a whole lot. But from the outside, stunning. They have been married for 2 years and they have 2 children together. Now, the next person that we meet is Morgan Bledsoe. And she's actually an ex-wife of a player. It seems like their divorce, it must be more so recent. You know what I'm saying? Because baby girl is still harboring some feelings about this man and how trifling he was. But she is actually planning to open up a beauty salon and a beauty school. And I'm like, okay, I love that for her. Like, I really hope that we get to see her thrive in that business and we get some shots of her actually opening up her school. Because y'all know how like the girls come on TV shows, they say they trying to do this and that, and then we never see it come to fruition. I really hope that we get to see Morgan actually be about her business and not so much only about the drama. And this woman has 3 kids with her ex-husband. And I believe that her ex, Eric, he is still playing in the NBA. Now, off the bat, you guys, I will say that I feel like Morgan is a regular girl. And what I mean by that is she doesn't have the polished voice where you want to make sure that you enunciate certain words, certain ways, because that makes you feel like you're above. Baby girl is a regular girl, okay? She's a regular black girl. We love to see it. Because the way her and her mom were talking about how, yeah, we can go ahead and go out, together. We can go find a stepdaddy and a granddaddy. Like, I loved that banter. Because let's be honest, a lot of times the girls, they come on these reality shows, they hella bougie, they hella pretentious. Like, Morgan is giving me young Tammy Roman. Like, I'm going to give y'all, it is what it is, and we going to move it forward. So, we actually learned a little bit more about the relationship between Ashley and Morgan. Now, according to Morgan, Ashley used to be her friend. However, she broke Basketball Wives code by bringing women around her ex-husband. I said, wait, what do you mean bringing them around? As if she's bringing her friends around for him to sleep with? Because that sounds shady as hell. And then we get a flashback to Ashley saying that her friends, they didn't try to mess around with her husband. However, he tried to contact them. Now, who do I believe in this situation? Not really sure. I think both of them played a part. Because it sounds to me like you were bringing your friends around, and you know the type of friends that you got, but you probably feel like, well, adults are going to do what adults do. He's the person who has a commitment. But at the same time, like, you're bringing your thirsty-ass friends around. But when you're probably in Morgan's face, you're skinning and gritting. That ain't cool. But y'all, let's go ahead and move on to Megan's brunch. So Morgan, she has already switched place cards, okay? I'm going to assume that the place cards put Ashley next to her, and baby girl said, not today. We ain't doing that. So we actually get to meet another girl by the name of Neek Brown, and she's friends with Morgan. So she's dating a current player, and this man has 2 children with another woman by the name of Mackenzie. Keep in mind, y'all, Mackenzie on the show. I said, oh, this is some good mess, okay? We have never had the baby daddy have 2 of his women on the show. This is interesting. I like where this is going, because it might get real messy. But nonetheless, I'm going to say that I don't really know much about any of these girls, first off. However, I do know that I have seen Neek on social media. I don't follow her, but I know that I always see, like, the Shade Room, they post her, like, Fashion Nova ads. Now, speaking of Neek, did anybody catch the fact that when Mackenzie walked through the door and Neek saw her, she was like, oh yeah, she's Botox fresh? I'm like, oh, okay, so y'all got some issues here. Like, I feel like they put on a front because they want, oh, the kids need to get along and they need to see us get along. But these heifers don't like each other. And you cannot tell me that they do. Not at all. So it's clear that time has passed at this brunch. And Morgan says that she's on her 4th drink already. Okay? So her energy has definitely levitated a few notches, right? So Morgan, in her confessional, she calls Ashley old. And she says that all her bags are fake. And we do see a conversation between Neek and Megan. And she's like, listen, I stay out of the Morgan and Ashley drama because she's friends with both of them. And she doesn't want to basically pick a side. Now, we learned, y'all, that for some reason, Mackenzie lives 3 doors down. 3 doors down from Neek and her man. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Girl, you need to at least live a couple of blocks away. But we gonna circle back to that. So, we gotta get back to Morgan. Baby girl is all up in this girl's face, right? Oh, and who is this girl? Oh, one of Ashley's friends. Because Ashley brought her friend, I think her name was like Parnia or something. She brought her there, I guess, as backup. But Morgan, she's all up in this girl's face like, why are you looking at me crazy? Because the whole time, Morgan has been doing her thing, whatever. This girl has been looking at her. And the only reason why she's looking is because Ashley has already pointed out the fact that, oh yeah, Morgan's going to be there. This is Morgan. Because other than that, baby girl had no reason to even look that girl's way. But Morgan was not playing with her, okay? Especially once she found out that was Ashley's friend. That took it up a whole nother level. So she all up in both of their faces at this point. Ashley and her, they kind of tussle a little bit. Well, I wouldn't even say tussle. They just had their hands flying in the air, making sure that the other one don't put their finger in their face. Now, honestly, you guys, do I think that Morgan took things a little too far? Yes, because the way she walked up on that poor girl, it was like, why you looking at me crazy? Like, she was like in her face. I'm just like, yo, that's pretty bold. But at the same time, once you find out that it's Ashley's friend and you don't get along with Ashley, you know that Ashley's probably said some slick stuff about you. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and move on. So, we get to Neek and a new person by the name of Mulan. Now, y'all, I can't lie. The only thing that I kept thinking when I saw this scene was botched bodies ain't it. I'm sorry, Mulan. You just sat up here and told us that you are a basketball influencer. You are a college athlete. And I'm just like, wait, you're a college athlete. Are you still in college? How old are you? But what was really annoying me was the fact that her butt looked crazy considering she's supposed to be like a basketball player. Like, girl, that wagon that you trying to drag is going to slow you down. Now, according to her, she used to date a basketball player by the name of Bobo, I believe. And he's like a super tall NBA player or whatever. But they broke up. Now, in this conversation between Neek and Mulan, Neek just basically updates her on what happened at the brunch because Mulan wasn't there. And next thing you know, Morgan shows up. So Morgan gives her perspective and she says that the girl gave her a crazy look and she went to see why this girl was looking at her crazy. And then when she found out that the person was friends with Ashley, you already know she didn't like that. Now, one thing I will say is that Morgan gonna tell the truth because that whole situation, how she described it, she didn't try to sugarcoat it and be like, well, I was over here by myself and this girl, she was just looking at me crazy. Nah, she just told it plain, like, she was looking at me crazy. I rolled up on her. Like, that's very rare that you see that on reality TV because everybody wants to have a woe it's me moment. Not her. Baby girl gonna stand 10 toes down on everything that she do. And as you can tell, y'all, I'm a Morgan fan already. But nonetheless, she says that she's going to have a little golf day for all the girls. Now, we move on over to the Snells. And they're on this little date or whatever. And she's telling her man about how the brunch went. And it's clear that she is not trying to be friends with Morgan again. And that's absolutely fine. Y'all don't have to be friends. Hell, y'all don't even have to be cordial. Now, her husband, he threw a little dig because he was saying something about like, oh, some of the other girls, they don't have someone to confide in like you do. Oh, you're saying because they're not married, they don't have a man to confide in? Some of y'all niggas ain't worth confiding anything into. Like, slow it down, buddy. Stop trying to get into women's business. Don't try to throw your little jabs. Please don't. Now, y'all, I just have to say this. If these men did not play in the NBA, these women would not be interested in them. Like, for real. Because every guy that they are showing is ugly as hell. Like, ugly. Like, for real, ugly. Like, I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but here's my thing. Like, when I see women date, like, some of these athletes, I'm just like, there's no way that you were attracted to this man. There's no way. Like, y'all are really with these men for money. I guess, child. But let's go ahead and move on because we got to get to this whole Neek and Mackenzie thing. Mackenzie lives 3 doors down from her baby daddy so that they can work on their co-parenting. Girl, you are full of shit, okay? You did not move there for no goddamn co-parenting. Because if we want to be honest, that nigga's hardly home, okay? He's only home during the off season, consistently. Who probably has to watch that kid most of the time? Neek. when he wants to come over and play with his brothers and sisters or whatever. Yeah, I don't really like that. Because for me, it seems like these two women are having to bond and blend these kids, and this man is out here on the road doing whatever the fuck he want to do. Like, I get it, it's a part of his job, but let's be for real. Who's raising the kids? The two mamas. Because he barely there. But nonetheless, Neek was so ready to slam that damn door in Mackenzie's face, okay? Because she did not understand why that woman was still standing at her doorstep. So Mackenzie, she's like, oh, can we talk outside? They go outside or whatever because they have to have a conversation about what happened last summer and where they are today. So here's the thing. There's lots of flashbacks on this show because it seems like they shot a pilot that we didn't get to see, but they keep giving us flashbacks so that we can, I guess, stay on course with what these people are talking about. So basically, Neek, she felt like Mackenzie was taking things out on her because at the time that Neek got with whatever her man name is, she had no clue that he was supposedly still messing around with Mackenzie. Now, according to Mackenzie, she's like, well, you know, men, they don't tell the truth all the time because, you know, we were still together, you know, at that time. Here's the thing. I think the issue comes when people have this idea that even though the man may still be messing around with his baby mama, his wife, his girlfriend, whatever the woman is to him, they are expecting for that new girl to, once she finds out that he was, you know, still dipping back his toes somewhere else, their expectation is that she will leave that man. The thing is that the new girls ain't going nowhere. They're not leaving him because he dipped his toes back to you. Because they still feel like he's going to choose me over you at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So I think the expectation that Mackenzie had was, oh, well, you should have left him alone because he was still coming back to me. Girl, these new girls ain't doing that. They're not. Because had he not been coming back to you, he would have been going out there to somebody else. Let's call a thing here. But nonetheless, these two now, they are trying to, you know, be a blended family. That's good for the kids. Because like I said, these kids are being raised by the mamas and the daddy pop in when he can. Now, y'all, let's get to the golf event. So, there's a new girl on the field. Her name is Lindsay. She is pregnant, okay? Keep in mind, she's pregnant. And we also see Mackenzie there. The weather has switched up on the ladies, and they had to get off the golf course. So they go inside or whatever. I guess they're having lunch. And then we see all of the other ladies, you know, start to come on through. Now, one thing about Neek, y'all, she gonna complain about the fucking weather. I don't even know why she lives in Orlando, because everything is too hot for her. She always complaining about how hot she is. You know, her and Megan, they both had on faces full of makeup. And baby, that rain would have melted all of that away. But nonetheless, Megan actually brought her friend, Nikki Nicole. Now, some of us remember Nikki Nicole because she dated Four from Black Ink Crew. I said, okay, it's good to see Nikki back on TV. Now, Lindsay, the pregnant girl I was talking about, she's like, oh, you know, I think that we should go ahead and get all of our issues out. I'm like, damn, this is only the first episode. What issues, girl? So Megan pipes up like, Mackenzie, you have something to say? Girl, no. Because Lindsay looks over to her and she's like, oh, I was actually talking about you. You know, because you have something to tell Morgan. Ma'am, where did this come from? Like, what do you mean she has something to tell Morgan? How do you know this? We have never even met you. What's going on here? I said, the pregnant people love to stir shit up on a TV show. This girl, Tiffany on Huntsville. You gotta watch the pregnant girls. But nonetheless, Megan, she opens up about the fact that she talked to Eric at some point. Which, of course, is the ex-husband of Morgan. She says that she went on 2 group dates. And Megan, she's, trying to clear the air. She's like, I didn't, sleep with him. We didn't do anything physical. And I didn't know that he was married. Here's my thing. A lot of this shit is Googleable information. I know that y'all are not just going out with NBA players or any man and not typing his name in Google. I'm pretty sure it'll say he's married. But I'm going to let y'all continue with this I didn't know thing, right? So, Morgan, she's like staring at Megan. And I'm just like, oh shit, this is about to go left. But it didn't. She was like, you know what? I already knew about all of this. I found everything out in the divorce. Whatever y'all did or didn't do, that don't concern me. I'm still going to welcome you to Orlando with open arms. I said, okay, come on through, Morgan. I like this version. Wait a second. Was she not a hothead? You know what I mean? She can be very reasonable. Look at this. So, Megan, she asked about what was up at the brunch. And Morgan, she opens up about Ashley bringing the players, which means multiple players, girls, for them to fuck on. So Milan chimes in, and she's like, yeah, I used to be cool with Ashley, but, she kind of did the same thing to me. And now Mackenzie feels so uncomfortable. She's like, I can go to the bathroom. I don't want to hear this about Ashley. And Morgan, she's like, oh, no, sweetheart. You don't have to go to the bathroom because you don't go to the bathroom when Ashley's talking shit about me. So don't try to play that game right now. I said, okay, call her out because you be eating it up when Ashley is giving you the hot gossip. But now you want to act like, because the camera's here, you don't want to be caught up in the mess because you're not defending your friend. So then we have Megan calling Mackenzie out because she's like, listen, Ashley is the problem because at the end of the day, you were questioning me about me and Eric and what we did and what we didn't do. The only person who would have known that information is Ashley because she talks to Eric all the time. I know that she be on the phone with him. I said, on the phone with him? Why she cupcaking with Eric when she got a whole ass husband? That's some funny shit going on over there. But nonetheless, y'all, Kenzie, again, she wants nothing to do with this conversation. So she's like, maybe I can just leave or whatever. And Morgan told her, like, okay, you can hit the door. Like, ain't nobody keeping you here, girl. And that is where that scene ended. So, y'all, we got to talk about this last scene. We have Morgan meeting up with Ashley. And now we can clearly see that Morgan is on go. However, her attire, her makeup look and everything, baby girl looks good, okay? The outfit was giving, I'm not here to fight. Her fishtail braid was cute. The makeup was on point. I was like, Megan is such a cute girl. However, Ashley gets there. She got a hoodie on. I'm like, well, bitch, is you trying to fight? Why you got that hoodie on? So, out the gate, Morgan is like, do you have anything to say? Because you've had a lot to say, especially considering you are still talking to my ex. Ashley denies all of this and then circles back to admit it, that she actually does talk to the ex, right? Now, Morgan, she calls Ashley a snake-ass bitch. Then she brings up the fact that she was her only friend at one point when they were both, I guess, in the same city at one time. I guess maybe their husbands played on the same team or something. But nonetheless, she was her only friend, probably introduced her to a lot of other people. And then Morgan told her, because, Ashley would try to chime in a couple of times. She basically told her to shut up because she needs to sit there and listen, especially because she didn't have nothing to say when she asked her, did she have anything to say? So, Morgan, you know what I'm saying, she follows Ashley out to the car because Ashley, she done got up, stormed off, or whatever. She gets in her car, but Morgan wasn't done with her yet. So, Morgan was like, you brought women around my husband. I know that it was you. All this stuff came out in my divorce. Now, my whole thing is this. The whole time she's saying that, Ashley is not like denying it. Like, girl, I didn't bring no women around your husband. Like, that's usually the response. You want to defend yourself. She wasn't doing that. So I was kind of like, Ashley, you got something to tell us, don't you? And then by the end of this argument, Morgan is yelling about how, you were messing with my kids. And Ashley was like, okay, I won't do that anymore. My thing is this: what did she do to the kids? Or was she referencing like, you messed up my family because now my kids have to experience not having a dad there all the time because of the constant cheating? I'm just not exactly sure what the kids had to do with anything, but maybe there was something that was chopped out of it. I don't really know. But y'all, that was the episode. So far, my favorite is definitely going to be Morgan. I like Morgan right now. I like Neek. And I'll give it to Mulan, even though she got that botched booty. Like, you know what I'm saying? She seemed cool. But y'all, let me know what y'all think about this episode. Do y'all think that these girls are going to bring it way more than the regular Basketball Wives? Let me know. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.